If you're thinking about going solo as an esthetician, or maybe you've already started the process to building your own practice and you're realizing there's a lot more that goes into this, then this video is for you. Today I'll be sharing 3 things you need to know before going solo as an esthetician. Being in this industry for 7+ years now, having my own practice for 5+ years, I've been able to see what works, what doesn't work. And based off the conversations I've had with a lot of you guys this year, questions I've received, these are the 3 things I wanted to highlight today. Now, of course, there's much more than that. I've made a ton of other videos here for you on my channel, as well as created resources for you. And I'm happy to announce that I'm going to be officially revamping my Going Solo series, and I'll be announcing that launch date very soon. So stay tuned. And without further ado, grab that pen and paper and let's get into it. Number 1, you will never be given more than you can handle. I have seen time and time again in my journey, the more I treasured what was in front of me and nurtured it and grew that, I was given more. The universe will not support a system that does not support room for more, right? Action step for you is to write down all of your bills, like make a spreadsheet or something. And look at your bank accounts. And I want you to look at where all of your money is going right now. And I want you to put some in a category as fixed expenses, like things like rent and gas and food and things that you need to survive that are kind of non-negotiables. And I want you to put in another column the bills and expenses of where your money could get cut down or are kind of leisurely expenses or things you can adjust. And I just want you to observe those 2 columns and just ask yourself, is there any adjustments that can be made? Also, then adding the total up together and how much you are truly spending per month on your expenses. I'm not saying you necessarily need to cut anything out that you enjoy doing. I just want you to get a very clear idea of how much money you need to make in order to sustain this current lifestyle that you have. Because maybe you're opening up this business in order to be able to either match that or exceed that, right? Whatever amount of money it is that you need to make a month, I need you to be very crystal clear about what that figure is. Break that down into how many clients that is going to take on average to fulfill that amount of money. I promise you, if you get very crystal clear about how much revenue you need to make per month, you'll see that coming in a lot sooner. Then I also need you to automate as much as possible. Automate your bills, automate your savings. I recommend opening up another bank account that can transfer money into the other, and ideally transfer the money into the account that you don't look at as often, because when that's being transferred over, you don't have to worry about it. As a business owner, you start wearing a lot of hats. You start juggling a lot of adult responsibilities. Also, if you're a parent, your children, your business, it can just get really overwhelming really quickly and things can fall through the cracks. And saving is one of those things that us as human beings aren't always the best at doing it. And that is definitely something that I want you to prioritize. Opening a business is getting disciplined with those finances, and also just automating as much as you can as far as having a booking system, having a way to track your retail and your deposits, and having an automatic way for people to just book online with you. I mean, there's so many other things you could automate. You could have someone, doing your laundry. You could have somebody cleaning your home. You could have help with social media. It really just kind of depends where you want to spend and allocate more of your time. But I will say that having the strength to be able to hand off responsibilities to others will be a great way to set you up for success in this industry. I understand not everybody has the means to be able to do that. And so I would just say, get organized then. If you can't, like right now, I don't have an assistant right now. I don't have an editing person just yet. It just doesn't fit the budget right now, okay? You guys know my situation. If you watched last week's video, I kind of explained to you what's going on. Sometimes you're not in that position to outsource a ton, and you have to clean your own house. You have to do this. So just get organized and make sure that you're writing all of your responsibilities down and kind of figuring out either if you need to squish all of your chores and errands into one day. Like for me, it's on Mondays. That way, once I go into Tuesday, that's kind of my Monday where I start working and I can just focus on work and not have to worry about my chores, right? So just get organized, put your responsibilities on a list, put your bills on a list, get very crystal clear about all of the things you need to handle and balance before you get into your business. Tip number 2 that I need you to know before you go solo. I want you to be mindful and not overspend. I know opening your own practice is really exciting and there's so many brands, there's so many devices. If you haven't already checked out some of the videos that I posted this year, I have a few that can help kind of lead you in a good direction. You know, I've obviously been reviewing the Zemetz devices and the Lemieux devices and trying a bunch of different skincare lines for you guys. I'm working on it to have more for y'all this coming year, but there's so many choices, and I feel like when you open your business you get really excited and you just want to have all the best. And you know, especially when you see people online posting, you know, the hydrofacial and this and that line and you know, all these things that they add up. What inspired this tip was because I stayed in touch with one of my students from the training, and she decided she's going to take the leap and open up a space, and she was texting me some questions, and she was like, should I get the Zemetz First Stand Pro? Like, what do you really think? Or should I start with something else? Like, what did you start with? And I will say, one of the devices I've shown you guys here on my channel that I reviewed was kind of a spontaneous purchase. I knew Biotherapeutic was a really reputable company, and seemed like a really cool addition to what I had going on already, but I didn't purchase that device right away. And I also feel like maybe I could have waited even longer to research even more. And what I would have really wanted to consider is what device or treatment can give multiple benefits versus just one. Because I do notice there's a lot of treatments and devices out there that just kind of target one thing or have one modality attached to it. And what I personally really love about the Zemetz Verstan and the Dermalux is that there's multiple modalities attached to the device. And so that just gives you a lot more playing room, a lot more bang for your buck. So use code Kristen if you want to purchase anything Zemetz wise. I told my student, I was like, I am a firm believer that this is the device to start with, but only if you have the finances for that. Now, if you're someone who's got an endless bank account access right now, go for it. Get what you want to get. But if you're in a position like I was, where funds were tight, I didn't have a lot of wiggle room, I just started with 2 to 3 lines. And I've gotten the question before too from you guys, like, what lines would you consider, you know, starting out with versus waiting to invest in later? And, you know, you guys know I'm a big advocate for SkinScript. I'm a big advocate for Image. I'm a big advocate for Lemieux. You do have to ask yourself, okay, can I afford the opening amount of money that it takes to start an account with this company? What are they offering me in return? What education? What resources? Is that fee come with products? I want you to ask yourself all those questions. Now, the beautiful thing about SkinScript specifically is it is more wallet friendly. There's no opening order, and generally probably about 85% of their products I have had a great experience with and love a lot. Just start out simple. And when I told my student, like, no, you don't need to get the Zemetz device right away, but how about you put your money toward a really solid back bar first, then into retail. Then once you have just like your basics covered and you start getting people in the door, then add in some enzymes, add in some light peels. And then I have been very much advocating for you guys to get your dermaplaning certification. Definitely you will see that return very quickly, just given the popularity and the results that it gives. Put your money towards those things first, and maybe some of the devices I recommended in my video that I shared with you about the devices under $500 that I really enjoy, and just start out with that. And I think too, after the girls took my class, my training this past month, I was able to show them day one, like, what type of treatment I started with. You want to be strategic. You want to take some risk, of course, when necessary. So hopefully that was helpful. I just feel like I've been getting asked that a lot, and those are some of the things that I would want to consider. I would want you guys to consider before opening your practice is, what do I need? What are the essentials? How can I give a great first impression and then build upon that and then keep people coming back? So the last thing I'm going to leave you with for this video is to treat your business like a brand from day one. I saw this meme on social media that says, entrepreneurship is realizing the person you have to become is harder to build than the business itself. So as soon as you step into the role of being an entrepreneur, business owner, esthetician, solo esthetician, whatever you want to call it, when you decide to leave your 9-to-5 or you don't have someone overseeing you, it's really much more than you being able to just do facials and open up a cute room and post on social media. And it's just like, like, yes, it is fun. It is amazing, but there is so much responsibility that comes with that. And you start wearing a bunch of hats, treating your business like your brand, it becomes a little more personal. I want to talk a little bit about what you name your company. And when I first started, I actually was a makeup artist. I didn't start out as an esthetician when I pursued being an entrepreneur. And I started out with Kristen Marie & Co. and have just stuck with that. And I want you to think about a name that is going to make sense for you long term, that maybe could evolve with you. And I've encouraged you guys to explore other revenues of income in this industry, because sometimes things can get a little rocky in one part of your business with clients, and then you have something else to bounce off of. So you want a name that is going to be versatile to any chapter of this journey. And so I felt using my name, or just, again, you know, if you hop on a call with me, I can maybe help you run some ideas together. But think of a name that is going to fit your brand long term. When I first started as a makeup artist, I observed and researched a lot of other entrepreneurs and YouTubers and makeup artists that were making a name for themselves in this industry. And so I encourage you to look at other people you look up to in this industry, not just me, but do your research. Study and observe. I'm very observant. I pay attention to details, and I just pinpointed that these people really treated their companies like a brand from the jump. They have a certain style, they have a certain color scheme, they have a logo, they have a name. It's just very official right from the get-go. So if you treat your business like it's a hobby, it's going to stay a hobby. So I need you to treat this company like a business, like a brand, like something that you see expanding. Even if maybe mentally you're not there just yet. You're like, you know what, I just want to start small. That's okay too. I'm just saying that just expect something unexpected sometimes. Maybe you'll start out wanting to do things small, but then later on you're like, well, I want to grow, I want to do this. And that's the beauty of this industry, is it can expand and grow with you over your lifetime, and it can look different in different seasons. I just made sure though that I took it very seriously even from the jump. I had a photo shoot. I just had another one this past week. I did a get ready with me for that, for you guys, to show you the makeup look and caught you up on life. But I continue to treat this company like a brand. And I remember not having cute lighting, not having the best microphone or anything like that. And I was sitting there, you know, explaining what my objective was for my company, what my mission was, what my slogan was. So just get very clear about what mission you're on, what your brand stands for, and pick a name that is just going to be able to morph with you no matter what season you're in. Just to close that out, just seek the mentorship. That's why I offer the resources that I have. I'm planning on launching training dates by the new year, hopefully. Keep you posted. And then also revamping my Going Solo series. So if you really are in the beginning stages of your business, this is going to be an online course that is a roadmap to help you start your business from point A and get it to point Z, to when you're opening up your doors and having clients coming through the doors your first day. Because that's what happened with me. I had clients on my day of grand opening and I was making money right away. And there's certain things that I do believe that you can do to ensure that you start off on the best foot possible. So hopefully these tips are only going to add more notes to your notebook and more nuggets to your knowledge about being a successful esthetician in this industry. Hit the subscribe button, comment below some hearts, some love, or any questions that you have, or future topics that you want me to cover. I'm here for you. I am doing my very best to continue to show up, and I can't do that without you. So stay in touch with me, and I'll see you guys next week for another one. I love you so much. Bye.